Y welcome, bienvenue, willkommen, buongiorno, Bridge and Roll with Adam and Travis.
Howdy. Alrighty, that's it. We are live. Not actually live, but there you go.
Somewhat live.
Fire away. So yeah, welcome. I'm Adam, and this is Travis. Well, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Travis Earlham, owner-operator of Dark Horse Martial Arts.
And I'm one of his students and buddies, and we're just wanted to talk some shit. So,
Yeah.
So how's things going with? I mean, obviously we're going in the middle of COVID right now. So what's today? Today's February 17th.
Say the middle of COVID, but
Yeah, it's been a year.
It's been over a year, and
Oh,
yeah, we're back into lockdown. That's always fun.
mhm.
Masks mandatory.
I know it's funny. I was just on my way here, and I just saw like this old couple crossing the street, and the guy was wearing. Well, he was actually wearing 3 masks outside. I was like, oh my God.
Oh, guess you can't be too careful.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I've been seeing that they're actually mandating double masking.
Like in
So
stores and stuff.
no, in like some of the states,
Oh,
some
yeah,
of the
yeah,
states you
yeah.
have to double mask. Both surgical masks. You can't even.
And then there's Texas and Florida where you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, and
I'm not gonna lie, I'm inclined to want to move to Florida.
dude, it's I don't know. You're looking at the studies, and it's doesn't seem like it's any different across the board.
Well, I
It's
remember when this first started, I was working a plumbing job when this first started, and I remember saying like in the first couple weeks, I'm like, this is gonna be going on for like 2 years. Like, there's no way that this is gonna be over in a month. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, it doesn't make any sense that I mean, we don't need to start this thing off with a COVID rant, but like, it's like people have completely forgotten high school level biology and like the way viruses and diseases and bacteria work, as if staying at home for 2 weeks, it's going to get bored and just like go somewhere else. Like,
it's gonna go hibernate somewhere.
anyway,
Well, they're saying this is gonna be like seasonal flu.
yeah, it's
Actually, like
endemic. It's going
yeah,
to be
it's
here.
just gonna be forever.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
which makes total rational sense. Like
Yeah.
that's just the way it is.
Well, you look at it, people die from the flu. So,
Totally.
what? It's just another stage of that, I think.
I think people too are like kind of getting tired of like like at first, if you went against anything, you're a conspiracy theorist. But people are so sick of the way things are right now that they're less inclined to think that you're a conspiracy theorist because they're just as tired of it as you are.
Yeah.
And so people like, I don't want to say they're more accepting to the idea of like it being normalized and like just going back to regular life, but in a way they are.
The,
Like, you go some places and people just don't give a fuck anymore. They're
no,
just like, whatever.
it's insane. It's insane how you get the two very different sides of it. You rarely hit that middle space where someone's just like, is what it is, and you mask up, but you don't really believe in it, but you know that there's some.
Yeah,
You're getting less and less of that. You're getting two very you're
like
getting a
polarized
divide.
groups.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it seems to be more and more. The people that are, because I'm more one of those that's kind of like,
yeah.
is what it is. But you're hitting those guys, and I'm getting bored. I kind of want to jump on one side or the other. I don't really care which side, but
Oh, totally.
it's like, oh,
Well,
it's hard.
I mean, obviously, your business is more affected than just about any other business out there. So there's that aspect of it. But on top of that, it's like, I mean, this is my view of it. It's obviously real. Like, I mean, it's
Well, yeah,
stupid to deny that it's a real thing. But at the same time, if they said tomorrow everything is all good to go back to normal, I would be like totally fine with that.
yeah.
But at the same time, like yesterday, I go to the ski hill and I'm in line at the lift, and there's probably 100 people around me, and it says there's like 5 million orange signs that say wear a mask and social distance, which I've got no problem with. I was there alone anyways. But like, there's this old guy, and you can tell he drives like a Denali version GM. Like he's just like you can just tell, and he's just talking loud, not wearing a mask with his family, and it's just like, dude, the 19-year-old hungover Australian kid doesn't want to tell you to put a mask on. I don't want to tell you to put a mask on. It's just like, just put the fucking mask on so we can so everybody can be chill. Nobody has to say anything. Like, it's just like, dude, just make life easier for everybody. That one aspect of it isn't driving like some socialist revolution or something. It's
yeah. That whole thing of why I'm gonna speak louder and not wear a mask just to show that I'm that guy that doesn't
I'm
believe
against
in
it.
this. It's like,
Yeah.
dude,
It's like,
especially at a ski hill, everyone's pretty damn chill at a ski hill. It's like, come on, just throw on the buff, pretend, let's go. If you don't believe in it, pretend. Give everyone else
just make life easier for everybody.
Yeah, and
Like,
so many people are just like, nah, let's revolt. It's like,
yeah. It's funny. What did I see? I saw a sticker yesterday outside the bicycle cafe, and it said, it's like, your complicity leads to authoritarianism or whatever. And I mean, in a way, it's not completely wrong, but it's just like people, I don't know.
well,
I'm torn on the subject, to be honest, because it's like, do I think Justin Trudeau or whoever is capable of like organizing a communist revolution in Canada? Not really.
do you think
But
any of our governments are able to do that right now? I think
no.
it'd be hard.
Oh yeah, for sure.
think
I don't even think that's. I think in a lot of ways, like I can't remember what I was listening to yesterday, but they were like, "Oh, it's John Stossel. He's like an old reporter from like different news channels in the States, but now he has his own channel on YouTube, and he kind of, I don't want to say he's fringe, but like he espouses ideas that would be considered fringe, like what we're talking about, like going against the COVID data, or like I was watching something about um, global warming yesterday, and how he was talking about how there actually is legitimate scientists out there who don't believe it's as big of a deal as the media makes it out to be. But it's always the media that's kind of like perpetuating this grand, and I think that
this
was
grandiose scare tactic thing.
yeah,
almost.
exactly.
And that goes back to like the old news program. I think it was like from the '60s where that guy came on and he was like, "Well, there's no news today, so
Hmm.
y'all have a good night." And that was insane to hear that was something brand new. No one had ever heard of no news,
Hmm.
and that was the first and only time that was ever said.
Hmm.
Because I think he got canned right after that. Because the news needs that. The news needs that, and the media, especially nowadays, the social media aspect of everything, you need that highlight reel
And you
kind
got to
of
tout
thing.
the line. You definitely can't like go off on your own about like.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, I'd have to do more research on John Stossel, but something tells me that he probably spent because I know he's been a news reporter for probably 30, 40 years. He probably just has been in the industry for so long, and he's like, you know what? Like, obviously they're skewing things. I'm gonna just start my own thing. But
Good on him. Why
yeah,
not?
and it's pretty interesting. It's funny. You see, it's hard to disassociate yourself from like the media perpetuates much deeper than I think anybody even realizes. Like it's like that thing with the social dilemma movie. It's like it's much deeper ingrained in our lives than even like I realize sometimes.
Oh, definitely. Just the aspect of the supercomputer in your pocket, and
Totally.
you'll be reading a book. Like I've been reading more and more, and it's good because I put down my phone
Hmm.
longer, but I'm still looking at it.
Oh, I
And
know.
if that stupid screen lights up, I'm like, oh, okay, well, and I make this little thing out in my head, like this little scenario that, well, it's probably to do with the club. 99% of the time, it's just some stupid thing. Like
It's
I got
always
a
the
like,
worst. It's a Facebook notification that somebody you don't know is
yeah,
selling something on the local buy and sell. Is
yeah, yeah.
99% of
It's that or
it.
someone you might know is on Instagram. I don't care.
Totally,
And
totally.
that actually turns me off. I'm just like, wow, that was a waste of my time. So then
Totally.
I just flip my phone over. And
Isn't it crazy
play.
though how much it hijacks your attention span? Like, because I've been doing a lot of reading lately too. I've probably read 3 books in the last 5 weeks or so, and really good books too, like books that I'm interested in. But I'll be sitting there, and then 10 minutes goes by, and I'm like, I don't even know why. I'll flip my phone over and check it.
Yeah,
I just tap on it.
and there's nothing
I'm like,
there.
no notifications. Flip it back up. Like it is insane. And I actually feel like a crazy person. Even yesterday when I was sitting on the chairlift, it's freezing out, so I have to take my gloves off to check
Yeah.
my phone. But I do it anyways. There's nothing on my phone. I'm wasting data and money checking it. Like,
I, the one thing I absolutely love about my phone is I have insomnia, so I'm awake like 20 hours of the day, and
mhm,
I can research whatever it is, and I go down these crazy rabbit holes on psychology or whatever I'm into at that moment in time, and you can look at my internet tabs, and I got like probably 30, and it starts off with, oh, what's the Nomi statues off of like some Polynesian islands? And then that goes into like some kind of ancient aliens or something like that, and it just spirals from there.
mhm.
But it gives me a lot of information, and that's the greatest thing about it. But
Is,
it's also the worst thing about it because it gives you,
is that what you're reading right now?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What? Sorry, what is it?
The Nomi statues, and so and then there's Dogi statues, and it's like this worldwide name, and
Hmm.
it's I don't know, it's the Dogi statues. So
Hmm.
Dogi, Drago, all these kind of dragon style statues. So it's a little humanoid with like a dragon head
Hmm.
on them, and it kind of goes into the like dragons were real or something similar to that was real at some point in our ancient history that was widespread across the world.
So, is it a historical like context book, like where they're researching like the origins of these things, or
A lot of them are, yeah.
yeah.
It's actually because the name is across the world, like
Hmm.
all the way from like Japan, the Polynesian Islands, all the way up to like Europe.
Okay.
And Aztecs
Hmm.
had something similar that meant like reptilian or dragon person or something like that.
Okay.
And they've been kind of connecting all of these little statues. It's actually quite interesting when you get looking into them because they all have very similar features. So just DOGI, like
Um,
Nogi but with a D.
Probably should have thought of this. What's the password here?
Um, I'm not too sure.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, you have an iPad there, anyways. If we need to look it up, how do you spell it? Sorry, Dogue.
uh, GI.
Okay. Yeah, it's funny. I've been reading a lot of like usually my go-to for reading is like historical exploration and things like Arctic exploration and stuff like that. Travis is just looking up the statues here so I can see what he's talking about.
One sec. So
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, like lately I've been reading a book. So there's an author actually who lives in Canmore, um, who's written a bunch of kind of historical exploration books about anywhere between like 1600 to like the early 1900s.
Oh, okay.
And his name's Stephen Bone, or Bown, Bown. But I've got a bunch of his books at my house now. Like I've got more than half a dozen of his books. And the one I just read recently is about this explorer named Knud Rasmussen, who's Danish. He's Danish, but he's Danish Greenland. So his parent, like I think his mom is Greenlandic.
Okay.
Um,
Is that the actual name for them? Greenlandic?
yeah, well they're Inuit who live in Greenland.
Okay.
They're like traditional Inuit people, but they live on the island of Greenland. And
Nice.
then because Denmark has sovereignty over Greenland and has for a long time, his family was associated with Denmark, and his dad's Danish. So, anyways, it's really interesting. Like brings, it's pretty. Okay, here we go. Okay, yeah, I totally recognize this.
Yeah. Dogu. Sorry, not Dogi.
Dogu.
Yeah, and then that sends you down a spiral.
Hmm.
So, sorry, continue.
No,
I'm
no,
just
no,
kind of
no.
happy I found the.
I just thought it'd be funny if it pulled up like the Dogecoin stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah.